Methodical. This timeline illustrates a common trap. We call it the slow founder trap. You draft a mission statement, design a logo, and build a 10-page website. Structure feels safe, but it consumes your capital and enthusiasm long before you ever prove that actual demand exists. Contrast that slow timeline with this revenue-first approach. Notice how the green arrow pierces the barrier and collects a payment entirely before complex systems are built. The goal is to shrink the gap between your decision to start and your first dollar. In the next 5 minutes, we are going to walk through exactly how to execute this. You will define a narrow problem, engineer a precise minimal offer, and set up a live payment link so you can launch today. We operate on one foundational rule. A business should become larger only after it has become real through a paid transaction. Step 1 requires you to stop selling broad, sprawling service categories. You must drastically shrink your unit of value. This comparison shows the exact difference. On the left, a vague concept like business strategy consulting creates confusion for the buyer. On the right, a narrow, urgent promise like, "I rewrite your pricing page for higher conversions within 48 hours," immediately answers a specific need. To build a sharp promise like that, we use this framework. This is the minimum viable offer, or MVO. An MVO is a specific, sellable unit of value constructed from 7 distinct layers. Looking at the top of the stack, you start with the foundation. First, you define a narrow, painful problem your buyer experiences. Next, you define the exact, concrete result they will receive when they hire you. Moving down, we establish boundaries. You explicitly state who this offer is a fit for and who it excludes. Then you clearly define the scope of the work to prevent the project from creeping out of control. Finally, we lock in the execution. Your offer requires a strict time frame, a fixed, non-negotiable price, and a single, frictionless path to purchase. Shrinking your value into this rigid structure directly lowers the buyer's cognitive load. It turns a sprawling, months-long negotiation into a rapid yes or no decision. Now that you have a specific offer, step 2 is deciding how to actually deliver it. You must be able to fulfill your MVO immediately upon payment, without building a massive course or signing an open-ended retainer. Here's your menu of playbook formats. As a fast founder, you have 4 immediate ways to deliver value. The first format is fast knowledge packaging. Instead of scattered advice, you turn your repeated explanations into a single structured paid asset, like a decision memo or an annotated guide. The next 2 formats are toolkits and high-speed consulting. You can sell organized leverage through prompt libraries and templates, or you can replace endless advisory retainers by selling a contained 90-minute expert intervention. The psychology here is highly consistent. Buyers do not pay for maximum volume or endless access. They pay for the shortest, most expert route to a reliable answer. With your delivery format chosen, the third step is getting your offer online. Abandon complex web development immediately. You are going to deploy lean infrastructure to go live right now. This diagram shows exactly what you must avoid. Look at the giant red X. Do not tangle yourself in multi-page digital brochures, complex marketing automation, and sprawling sales funnels. Instead, look at the clean vertical pipeline in the center. This is your new method. You need exactly 3 things: 1 targeted message, 1 simple landing page, and 1 frictionless payment link. That direct payment link is critical. It moves all administrative back and forth and instantly filters serious intent from casual curiosity. Your infrastructure must prioritize function over theater. A landing page is merely a tool to answer the core buying questions and immediately collect a payment. Now that your infrastructure is live, you have to find buyers. The most common mistake here is trying to manufacture traffic from zero. Look at this map. Instead of building an audience on an empty grid, use the distribution shortcut shown on the right. Borrow demand by entering existing marketplaces and professional communities where buyers already gather. When you present your offer to these communities, remember a harsh reality. Human beings will respond warmly to ideas, but only an economic purchase counts as actual verification. This graphic illustrates the pricing filter. Notice how likes and compliments bounce out of the funnel. A price tag eliminates passing approval and captures only serious demand at the bottom. By securing deposits or pre-orders, you balance the scale. You force the market to share the risk with you before full production begins. Revenue received from a pre-sale is working capital, shaped by evidence. It is the absolute hard proof required to justify further building. You have bypassed months of silent building. You now possess a live, defined micro-offer attached to a functional payment link. The upside of this system is entirely in your favor. If the market buys, you have the capital you need to scale. If they don't buy, you have only lost an hour, and you can rapidly adjust. Review this checklist. Stop planning in private. Accept market judgment early. Shrink your unit of value. Transfer the risk, and sell before you build. True commercial leverage does not start with structure. It starts today, exactly where value meets payment.